Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Fruit of Vine Quest 2.0. This is episode 9. I've reached my 28th login day today, so I should be able to fully complete the Apprentice Breeder Objectives, and I should be able to then start the daily objectives right away, unless I do have to wait until tomorrow. I'll find out once I finish this. Before we do get started on that, I have just a couple minor updates, which is that in the last several days that I've been playing, I didn't record the objectives because some of them were just taking a little longer than expected. There was one objective where I had to sell a horse in the direct sales and it took 30 minutes for it to sell. I think because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning in France, so there probably weren't a lot of people online playing at the time, and it sat for 30 minutes even though I had it like 400 below the next minimum offer. I just wanted to try to get it to sell. And then there were a couple other objectives that I had to scramble around, age up horses just to get the objectives done. It was just turning into a bit of a chaotic mess, so I just went ahead and did those on my own time. And I did buy 2 draft horses. There was one draft that I had to buy for an objective, which I think did turn out to be this mare. Although, I don't know, it might have been before the objective, I can't remember. But I bought her for only 20,000 equus, and the next cheapest filly would have been 50,000. She was a foal when I bought her, so she had absolutely no covers used. She's, grown up. She's at her adult image right now. So I got her an absolute steal. I hadn't intended to buy her at the time, but I was just looking at the sales and I saw her for 20,000 and I just jumped on her just because of how cheap she was. And then a couple of days later, I bought her a stallion that I can eventually cover her with. I think he was, how old was he? Let me go to his public page. I think he was how old? He was only 25,000. So I mean, he was only 5,000 more than her. And as I mentioned before, you're going to need a draft stallion to cover your draft mares with, because there are rarely any draft covers available because of their 3 cover limit. I still have not yet bought a unicorn though. I'm still holding off on that. I also have not yet bought a donkey. I'm holding off on that too. I did buy 1 or 2 other horses in the meantime. I think it was this mare here, because just to get one of the other objectives done, I think it was I had to enter 4 horses in the Grand Prix. Well, earlier that day, I had already entered 2 horses in the Grand Prix for a different objective. And then I came back later that day and that objective came up, and it, like I said, it was turning into a chaotic mess. So I bought her so that I had another horse that I could enter the Grand Prix with. I think I ran out of energy with all my other horses and I had no aging points left. So anyway, that's all done. I think maybe in a pretty soon upcoming video, I might do a review, kind of my thoughts, a summary on what I thought of the Apprentice Breeder Objectives now that I actually played them sort of in real time and not just testing them on the test server. So that's all over. Let's finally complete these Apprentice Breeder Objectives. And I did learn that it is impossible. If I had just read the objectives and seen Objective 87, I would have seen this anyway. But it is impossible to complete these before your 28th day, because this Objective 87 is to reach 28 days of connection. Therefore, you can't start your daily objectives before this point, because you have to do this objective. But we do get a Titans challenge for that, so let's complete that. Now we have to validate the 4 special features. What this means is validate these 4 special features. Now that I have 100 objectives completed, I can unlock the reserved sales. So we're going to unlock that. And that completes Objective 101 after I finish this little tutorial. Now you have the right to sell horses directly to your friends. So she's going to show us how to sell horses in the reserved sales. Ooh, do we get a donkey or a draft? That's nice. I didn't need to buy that. Well, I did have to eventually buy a draft anyway, just because I hadn't objected to do so. So where is it actually pointing at me to click here? Okay, I had to click the reserve sale tab. I have reserved 2 rather special horses for you. You can choose one. Well, you know what? 500 I've already got 2 drafts, so this is actually very useful for me. I'm going to choose the donkey. That way then I have a very cheap donkey. As donkeys are a bit stubborn, their genetic potential decreases with each generation. Donkeys and draft horses are only able to reproduce 3 times in their lifetime, unless you have a divine that allows you to breed your donkeys 1 extra time. You get 4 covers with them, and you also have to be a VIP with that divine. Very good choice. Here are some equus to take good care of. The donkey or buy other horses. Is that 50,000? Oh no, that's only 5,000. That almost needs a comma in there so I could see that. I don't know. 5,000 is 5,000. I'm not going to complain. Okay, so that turned out nice. I have a female donkey, but I'm still going to have to go buy a stallion eventually. But at least if I have to groom a donkey for an objective, I've got a donkey. That does give me 80 passes. By the way, I have not yet spent any of my passes in the meantime. The 2 drafts, the other horse or 2 that I bought, that was all with Equus. So I have now validated all of the previous objectives, and we get access to the daily objectives today. Maybe? Validate. Oh, you're going to validate? Let me refresh the page. Let's see if that works. Okay, yeah, I get the daily objectives today. Great, here you are, a confirmed breeder. Discover new goals every day to achieve to earn passes. Good luck. So, 28 days. It did take me a few more days than that because I think there were 4 days or something that I didn't actually log in, but 28 days till you can start earning passes. Compared to pass horses, where you can actually start sending horses to heaven, like you could start sending horses to heaven right away. I don't think there was any seniority limit on that at all, not that I can recall, but I mean it did cost a lot to buy an already aged horse. And if you didn't have enough Aquas to buy a horse that was old enough to send to heaven to get passes, you still would have needed some aging points to buy one kind of close to age. Maybe you bought a 15-year-old and you wanted to age it up to 30. You know, it would have taken some time, but I kind of think that was maybe more doable possibly to getting more passes in those first 30 days. Although I did get 260 passes from the objectives, so I don't know, that would have been equal to 2 old pass horses, almost 3 old pass horses, so I don't know. And I mean, in your early days of the game, I really don't think you need to focus on earning passes right away. I think as a new player, you should really focus on learning kind of the ins and outs, like definitely read the breeder's manual so you know how blup works, how it affects the GP, the inborn skills of your foals, you know, just kind of playing the events to earn prizes, breeding your horses so that you have more horses to build an aging point farm with. I don't know. Like I said, I think maybe I'll kind of think about the breeder objectives versus pass horses versus the daily objectives. I'll think about that in the meantime, and then maybe I'll talk about that in a future video. So my objectives for today are win a cutting competition. I don't know if any of my horses have won a competition yet because I haven't been training them properly. And my other objective is to sell 40 droppings at the store. I have some, but yay, I have 200. I've been saving my droppings for such an objective. How many was that? 40 or 20? It was 40. So we do have to sell 40 droppings to the store. We've got that one. Let's see what I can do in regards to winning a competition. I don't think it's going to go so well. So pretty much all I've done in the last few days, I have actually been stuck on those objectives for 5 days, I believe it was, because I finished, because that all of those 3 objectives that I had today occurred around my like 23-day mark, maybe it was. So in the meantime, while I've been stuck on those objectives, I just been doing missions every day, entering competitions, and I've been entering the Grand Prix every day too, because that does give you some Aquas. I don't think this is going to happen today. I think what I might do, I should probably go and buy a horse with some better skills. Because really, I've just been entering competitions with these horses just to make some Aquas. I didn't really care about winning anything, which definitely goes to show. So I don't think I'm going to win any competitions, and I don't have many horses that are trained or that are specialized in Western anyway. Well, I don't know why I'm training her right now. That's kind of like shutting the barn door when the horse is already out. It's not like me training her just a little bit more in speed and dressage is really going to help me win any cutting comps with her. So I don't know why I'm doing that. What other horses do I have specialized in Western? I do have this one. She's probably not going to win anything. Do I want to try training? Just get a little bit of dressage skills and then we'll enter a cutting competition. And we'll see. That one has one left. Ooh, let's try one of those. This one has 0% difficulty. And that's it for her energy today. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get 20 passes from that objective, but oh well. I didn't really expect to anyway. These guys aren't yet specialized, so yeah, I need to... Well, you know what? She's young enough. Let me change her specialty. We're gonna see. Of course, she has absolutely no speed skills. I mean, she has like 19.40, but she basically has no speed skills whatsoever. All right, let's try this again. I think we'll enter that one. Whoop, I need more energy. Let me give her a carrot and we'll enter one more and see what we can do here. Oh, she still doesn't have enough energy. Okay, fine. We're gonna give you a mash because I think I have some mash. Let's just enter that one. I mean, I'm not super concerned about it. Okay, she placed last, so this is a no-go. And then I had that paint mare. So, she has some skills on her, but she doesn't have as much speed and dressage compared to her stamina. She has an awful lot of stamina. Well, at least I entered against my own horse right there, so that's a filler. Let me just enter one more. She has nice skills, I think. So I was almost thinking about specializing her back into classical and train her in speed and dressage, but she could come in handy as a Western horse anyway for any of those Western objectives. So let me just feed her, and then I don't think I'm going to complete that objective today. So we'll validate that one just to get that out of the way. What is this? So I have daily objectives waiting for me. So I think we're going to leave it there for today, and then I'll let you guys know next time if I did ever end up winning a cutting competition. I guess I sort of shot myself in the foot by not bothering to train my horses up in the meantime, but most of them anyway didn't really have a lot of inborn skills because most of the horses I own are ones that I bred just to help produce more horses, because really the more horses you have, the better, especially if you get like objectives to wake 30 horses or stroke 40 horses. Even though you can usually do those objectives with the same horse over and over again, you still need a lot of aging points. So it's better to then have a lot of horses so you don't have to worry about using up aging points unless you have to. So what I'm going to do from here on out is just to kind of work on these objectives daily, and then I'll record my sessions every now and then as I'm kind of getting somewhere, just to show you guys my progress. I'm just going to try to focus on earning passes. I will come back in a few days too, just to again look to see if I can maybe buy a unicorn mare, and I will need a donkey, a male donkey with covers left, because I know I'm going to need those at some point. I really need to get on that. So I think that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.